Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. I have such a treat of a video for you today. I have pretty much a full face of brand new makeup on. Not everything is just launched. Some of the products are new to me, but everything I'm trying today definitely launched this year, okay? And I am so impressed by the way everything turned out. I cannot wait to share all of these products with you and the way they applied and my first impressions on everything. Anyways, you'll see we have a lot to get into. We're going to try some new PATTYALONSO products, new Armani products, new Sigma products, new Milk makeup products, Mercier products, and also a new eyeshadow palette. Anyways, I'm excited. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you like it, and let's just go ahead and get started. I have so much new makeup in front of me to try. I just want to go ahead and get started, and I always start with eyebrows. So as you can see, my eyebrows are gelled up with my ABH Brow Freeze. Of course, all of these new products that I'm using today and anything else that I'm putting on my face will be linked down below. So if you're interested in any of these, definitely check out those links down there. Everything is going to be listed and linked down there. And I usually separate things by categories: brows, eyes, face, etc. So definitely check out the description box of this video if you're interested in any of these products. I'm going to go ahead and pull my hair up, and the first product we are going to try is this right here. This is the new PATTYALONSO eyebrow pencil. It is called the Major Brow, and I got mine in the shade Soft Black. Here's what the packaging of this one looks like. I'm assuming it's got a spoolie on this side and then the thin pencil over here. The tip, as you can see right there, is kind of oval shaped but very, very small. Now usually the only problem I have with my eyebrows is that since I put on gel first, a lot of pencils don't work amazingly on top of gel, so we are going to go ahead and test this one out. Okay, so far I'm liking it, and I think it's going to be extremely natural looking. The strokes almost look hair-like, which I think it's incredible, so let me keep going. So far so good. If you have super dark eyebrow hairs like me, the soft black shade is definitely the way to go. It blends right in with my natural eyebrow color. It looks really nice and dark, and at the same time very, very natural because it does super thin hair-like strokes. So I love it so far. Let me go ahead and make myself even over here. I have to admit, this is definitely an amazing eyebrow pencil. I loved it. So it retails for $25, which is the same price as my Charlotte Tilbury one. Now my Charlotte Tilbury one is refillable, which is definitely a plus because you can get the refills for this one for $15 versus $25. The packaging of both of them is beautiful. The Charlotte Tilbury one a little bit more sturdy. Now I'll tell you the advantage of this one over the Charlotte one, because it does have one. This is extremely thin and extremely natural looking. The Charlotte Tilbury one is thin as well, but this one gives you true hair-like strokes in a pencil, and as you saw, it performed amazingly on top of my gel. No issues at all. This PATTYALONSO Major Brow Pencil is kind of what I wish the Huda Beauty brow pencil would have been. It has this super thin tip, but the advantage of this one over that one is that this did not break at all at any point throughout the application. And the issue I have with the super thin Huda Beauty brow pencil is that I can't use it at all because it breaks at least 3 times every time I fill my eyebrows. Plus it doesn't have a lot of product in there, so it lasts too little. So if you're interested in a super thin, very natural looking brow pencil that gives you hair-like strokes, definitely go for the new PATTYALONSO one. I think I do still prefer my Charlotte one in the sense that I know that the refills are a lot less expensive, and I usually get my hair-like strokes from a brow pen rather than a brow pencil, but that's me being crazy, having way too many steps in my eyebrow routine. All in all, this for me is a 10 out of 10. The next product I have been dying to try is this right here. This is from Milk Makeup. They have a new primer. Now this is a Pore Eclipse Mattifying Primer. I have dry skin, but as you can see, it looks glowy right now because I heavily moisturized like 30 minutes ago with my Charlotte Tilbury eye cream and magic cream. This new Milk makeup primer says it is a lightweight 90% natural water cream primer that locks on makeup, blurs pores, and controls shine, infused with niacinamide and bouquet to help minimize the appearance of pores over time. One of my new favorite ingredients is bouquet, so I'm impressed that this product has it in it because the serum I have been loving and wearing non-stop from Paula's Choice for the past few months that I feel has made great improvement on the pores on my skin has bouquet in it. And so I'm very impressed that this primer has it. Now, like I said, I usually am dry, so I don't go for mattifying primers all that often, but this one did sink right into my skin. It doesn't feel overly drying, and I'm not sure if it did much for my pores, to be honest with you. Maybe they are a little bit tighter looking, but there's not a huge improvement, I don't think, in the pore situation. Everything does look really nice and mattified though, which can make things look a little bit more blurred. So far though, it is not drying and it does feel really good. I feel like the foundation that I use on top of this is going to lay really nicely. Now, before I get to my foundation step, I want to do some eyeshadow, and I do have a new eyeshadow palette that I have been dying to try because it looks so beautiful. Also, it is a new brand to me. I have never tried this brand before, and it is Glaminatrix Cosmetics. This one is the Nearly Natural Glaminatrix Cosmetics palette right here. Wait till you see the inside of it. It is stunning. Take a look right there at these absolutely stunning shades. I love how some of these shimmers are super metallic, very shiny. It has a perfect combination of mattes and shimmery shades, and I have heard that the formula is amazing. I love this super dark burgundy color right here. Cannot wait to try it, so let's go ahead and go for this one. For eyeshadow primer, I'm going to use this one from Natasha Denona here. I have not been able to find my Rare Beauty eyeshadow primer, so I'm going for this one, and I have to say I wasn't a huge fan of it when I first tried it, and I think it's because I was putting way too much product on, the way I usually do whenever I don't like a product and then I decide to like it afterwards. I usually was just putting too much product on at first. So anyways, this one here, if you don't use that much of it, is not as tacky as I used to make it feel, and it actually gives you a very nice base for eyeshadow application. Unfortunately, I can no longer find it on the Sephora website. I think they took it out of there, but you can still find it on the Natasha Denona website. Of course, it'll be linked down below along with the rest of my products. I just cleaned my REPHR brushes, so let's get started. And the first color I want to use is the color Nothing to See, right down here. And with my REPHR number 15, I'm going to pop this one on the outer V of my eye. Outer V means when you open your eye, you can still see a little bit of an edge of that color when the eye is open. So for me, my outer V placement is right here. See, with my eye open, you can still see it. And then the outer corner of the eyelid, of course. And like I was saying, I have never tried this formula, but this matte, so far, really good. I wiped off my number 15 brush a little bit, and I'm going to the color Barely There to use it as an even lighter transition shade up here, close to my eyebrow, but leaving a little gap right underneath. And I'm taking it all the way to where my eyebrow starts through the crease. With my REPHR number 1, I want to get the color Untouched right here, and I want to darken up the outer corner of my eye with it ever so slightly, blending it into our previous shades, just to give a little bit of that mauvey effect to the outer half of the eye. With my same number 1 brush, I'm going into the color Naturally, just a tad bit of it, and I want to darken up the outer corner of my eyelid even more with this shade. I usually go from lightest to darkest when it comes to building up dark shadows on my eye, and so these are kind of the steps. I usually start with a transition color, then a little bit darker, then a little bit darker, then the darkest color I want to apply, which in this case is this super dark burgundy shade. Anyways, everything has been blending beautifully with these eyeshadows, and I cannot wait to try the shimmers. I want to play with the contrast between the light shimmer shades and the burgundies of this palette. So I definitely want to use the color Exposed right here in the center, but I'm going to transition to it with the color Raw. So this right here is a REPHR number 28 brush, and I'm going to tap it right here. Not on the outer corner of the eye, but also not in the center, right in the middle. And this is going to kind of work as a transition from the burgundy mauve shades to the green. Just a tad bit of that color right there. So now with my same flat brush, I am going into the color Exposed, and I'm going to tap it right in the center of my eyelid, blending it back into our previous shade. By the way, these shimmers perform amazingly, just like I was expecting. I love them. Let's go even lighter on the green scale with the color New Nude. And this is going to be my inner third of the eyelid shade right here. And I'm going to hold off on an inner corner color for now because I want to do my complexion first to then finish up underneath the eye and the inner corner. But for now, these shades are amazing. Let me look up how much this palette is on the Glaminatrix website because this was sent to me. But I love, 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 love the performance and the quality of these shades. I'm super impressed. Also, my battery is dying, so let me just be right back. I'm on the Glaminatrix website right now. It says the palette retails for $48.69, and it also says before you place your order, please know that it is a pre-order and the batch will not begin to ship until the end of September. So I know this is a huge inconvenience. I don't know if you guys will want to go for it. It is an absolutely stunning palette though, in my opinion. Right up my alley. I love these types of shades for sure. So let's keep going, and I have a new foundation to try as well. I pretty much have all new things to try in today's video. This is the Power Fabric Plus from Armani. This was sent to me along with the concealer, which we'll talk about in a second. The Power Fabric is not a new foundation, but it was just recently reformulated, so now it's called the Power Fabric Plus. This shade looks way too dark for me. I did ask them to send me the 4.25. I feel like I've used 4 point something from Armani before, so I don't know. Let me check. My Luminous Silk is 4.5, and this one usually works great for me, so maybe I'm not that far off. The Armani Power Fabric Plus foundation is a weightless matte foundation with up to a 24-hour wear. It has SPF of 25, and it is a liquid formula with a full coverage. It says it's formulated with a patented microfill technology, a fine waving process which allows pigments to lay flat for seamless blending. This foundation provides a weightless and comfortable feel to the skin, and it is available in 30 different shades. The shade, as you can see, is actually not too dark at all. It is pretty much an exact match to my color right now. So far so good. The formula does feel extremely lightweight, which I love, especially for a full coverage foundation. Full coverage is usually not my preferred type of foundation. I like a medium buildable coverage, but this one's certainly not the fullest coverage foundation I've tried. The color looks great. It has a really beautiful natural finish so far, not too drying. I lowered my ring light a lot so you can see what it looks like on my skin. A little bit more true to color right there. It definitely covered my redness quite a bit. Is this a dry patch or my skin's texture? Hold on. Honestly, looking at it really close in the mirror, it looks beautiful. I don't see any dry patches or anything like that, so I'm pretty impressed. I'm putting a little bit more right here on my cheeks. And I'm saying I'm really impressed because I don't usually go for full coverage matte finish foundations, but this one truly is a very lightweight formula, and it seems to work even with my very dry skin. I'm honestly very impressed. The new concealer I have to try is also from Armani. This is the Armani Power Fabric High Coverage Concealer, and I have heard amazing things about this one. I have very high expectations, and I really hope I love it. I want this to become a new favorite concealer so bad. So those are where my expectations are at. This is in the shade 3.5. Let me go ahead and dot it right here. The Power Fabric Concealer says it's for normal combination and oily skin. It says it's long wear, medium to full coverage, hides under eye circles and imperfections with a natural matte second skin finish. The creaseless concealer resists settling into fine lines with a lightweight formula and time-releasing oils for smooth blending and lasting comfort. Take a look at the difference before and after. I'm pretty impressed because I consciously did not use any color corrector underneath my eye or anything. I wanted to test out the extent of the coverage of this concealer, and it looks really amazing so far. Once again, I do have soft boxes on each side of my face right now, but my ring light is fully down, so you can see a little bit more true to color what things are looking like. And honestly, the concealer looks amazing. As you can see, there's very little creasing. Usually concealers crease a lot more on me, and I haven't even set this with any powder at all whatsoever. So far so good with this one. I'm going to smooth out those creases before I powder. And for setting powder, I actually have two different powders that I want to try out today. They are both new to me, so I'm going to try and do one on each half of my face and see. This one right here is the new Translucent Ultra Blur powder from Laura Mercier. Laura Mercier is advertising this setting powder as a setting powder for dry skin, so we'll see. Take a look right here at what the packaging looks like, and of course I got mine in the shade Translucent. I'm going to put a little bit of it right here on the cap. I bought this Laura Mercier translucent powder at Sephora, and it seems to be very popular because currently all three shades are sold out. On the Sephora website, at least, it says the powder has hyaluronic acid that makes it comfortable for all skin types. It's got amino acids and silica powders, which creates a soft focus effect for fine lines, pores, and imperfections. It is a comfortable up to 16-hour wear, and it is a talc-free powder, so I cannot wait to try it. It honestly sounds amazing, and I'm going to use this brush to put it on. This is from Sigma. It's their F12, so I'm just going to go right there for a little bit of powder and set throughout the center of my face with it. All the way to my concealer area, of course. Light all the way down again. My first impression is it doesn't really look like I'm wearing any powder at all, which I really like, except for when you look at this cheek, you see a little bit of glow here, and on this side is matte. But other than that, everything looks a little bit more blurred, a little bit more matte, and it feels extremely lightweight on my skin. It almost feels like I don't have any powder on at all, which, like I said, I love. This new Laura Mercier translucent powder, by the way, retails for $44. The Sigma powder we're going to try on the other side retails for $32, and this one is in the shade Vanilla Beam. They have 4 different ones. I already opened mine. Let me go ahead and clean my brush, and we'll put that one over here. This one says, seal the deal with the silky smooth, lightweight loose setting powder, minimizing the appearance of pores, lines, and wrinkles. This beautifully blurring powder mattifies and set makeup for longer wear. I'm looking at the ingredients of this one on the Sigma website, and talc is not listed as one of the main ingredients. Once again, with the light all the way down, this is what it looks like, and I have to say, on camera, I can barely tell a difference between either side of my face, the one with the Sigma powder versus the one with the Laura Mercier powder. And honestly, with a mirror, I can't tell the difference either. Both sides of my face look really nice. I'm definitely very impressed at the fact that I'm using a mattifying primer, mattifying foundation, mattifying concealer, and 2 mattifying setting powders, and my face does look matte, but it does not look dry, and I have extremely dry skin. My main issue with most products I put on my face is everything is too drying for me, and this whole combination of products surprisingly is not making me look dry, which to me just means that they're incredible because I have very dry skin and I look matte, but I don't look dry. I'm excited. I'm bringing back my Glaminatrix palette, and I want to finish up the under eye, so I'm going to start with the color Naturally, and I'm going to use it underneath my eye. I'm putting it on with a REPHR number 3 brush halfway under my eye, switching to my REPHR number 13 and the color Barely There. And with this one, I'm going to smoke out my whole under eye area, so underneath the dark shade and all the way in to the tear duct area. just like so, just back and forth with my tiny blending brush like this. Lastly, for my inner corner, of course, I have to try the color Naked Eye. And I'm putting it right here on the innermost corner of the eye, blending it into the rest of the shades ever so slightly. Love it. On my waterline, I'm going to put a warm, dark eyeliner. This one is Walk Up No Shame from Charlotte Tilbury. And I'm finally finished playing with this palette. It's been a total blast. I have loved it. Let me go ahead and put on some mascara and lashes, and I'll be right back to finish up the rest of my face. I still have some other new products that I'm dying to try. I'm back and my eyes are now fully finished. I just went ahead and put on some mascara, some good old Ardell lashes, and it is time for bronzer. I cannot wait to use this bronzer. This is also from Sigma. I'm trying to use a lot of my new Sigma products in this video because they sent me so many new products to try. So this right here is their new bronzer. It released this year. It might be a reformulation rather than a brand new product, but anyhow, this is what the packaging looks like. It is their matte bronzer, and I'm going to try the shade Lights. They also sent over this F78 brush. It says Ultimate Bronze, so of course I want to put it on with it. Okay, this brush is absolutely massive, which is not what I tend to prefer for bronzer, but we'll try it out. It's definitely bigger than the pan of the bronzer. Take a look right here and let's go for it. It definitely applies it very, very fast. I don't know, I tend to prefer smaller brushes when it comes to bronzer, so I can apply it a little bit more precisely. As far as the actual bronzer is concerned, I do like the shade of it. It is a little bit on the warm side. Don't expect a lot of sculpting from it, but it has given me a really beautiful sun-kissed look, and I'm here for that. Also, I was definitely dying to warm up that foundation color, so I feel a lot better right now. Bronzer just changes everything. This bronzer is really beautiful, very blendable, nice and pigmented. I don't really have any complaints when it comes to it, and I think I'm done bronzing things up for right now. So let's go ahead and try a blush. Also from Sigma, this blush is in the shade Sunset Kiss, and I feel like it's going to go really well with my eyeshadow today. And I'm going to use an F24 brush from Sigma to apply it with. This one says it's an all-over powder brush. This blush is more pigmented than I was expecting. It has a matte finish. It does go well with my eyeshadow color today, and I actually really like it. A little bit brighter than I'm used to, but I'm not mad. Plus, just like with the bronzer, I feel like this formula of blush is pretty great. For highlighter, also going with Sigma, this one is in the shade Moonbeam. It looks really, really bright. And I'm going to apply it with a REPHR number 16 brush. I want something nice and precise. Let's go for it right here. That looks lovely. For some reason, I was expecting the highlighter to be even brighter, but it looks really nice and natural. And the color I chose definitely goes well with the eyeshadow I'm wearing and all of that. I am feeling this makeup today, okay? I'm feeling it. All we have left is the lips, and I'm going in with the Pat McGrath lip liner. This one is in the color Done Undone. Now for a lip balm, I have the last new product I want to try today. This is new from Kopari. It is their Peptide Lip Cloud, and let's just go ahead and go for it. I was really excited to try this one, and so when I got it, I could not wait for a video to try it, and so I have used it a couple of times before right now. I actually really like this one. It feels like a lip balm on the lips, a little bit minty. The peptides are supposed to be anti-aging for the lips, maybe even a little bit plumping. I have to say, this feels a little gritty. When you first put it on and you go like this, it feels almost like if you had a little bit of a leftover lip scrub on and you put a lip balm over it. So I'm not fully convinced with the texture of this balm because I don't like that almost gritty feel when you go like this. I've pretty much told you my thoughts about every single product I've tried as I applied them, but I'll tell you kind of my final first impressions on them all now that everything is applied to my face. The brow pencil from Patrick Ta, definitely a 10 out of 10. It looks very natural. It does not break apart easily, and it's very, very thin. It gives you hair-like strokes. I loved it. This Milk Makeup Mattifying Primer made my pores a little bit tighter looking. It definitely mattified my face, and I thought the foundation went beautifully on top of this one. I'm not sure that this is going to become one of my all-time favorite primers or anything like that, but if you're looking for a mattifying primer, definitely try it out. I definitely want to continue to try it under my other foundations that I'm a little bit more familiar with, but with the foundation that I used today, it worked beautifully. The foundation laid amazingly on top of this one. I never tried the original Pore fabric foundation, so I don't have a point of comparison for this one, but if you have dry skin like I do and you're looking for a matte finish full coverage foundation, look no further. This foundation is incredible. It covered most of my imperfections. You can still see a few freckles come through a bit, but that definitely does not bother me at all. In fact, I actually really like it. I would say it's a high medium coverage foundation rather than a true full coverage foundation, which I actually prefer. My skin looks very matte, but it does not look drying at all anywhere on my face, which I find incredible. I don't know, this foundation is a 15 out of 10 for me. I cannot wait to continue to try it. I feel like my skin looks pretty flawless today, and I feel like I owe most of that to this fantastic foundation. So love it, highly recommend it. Matte finish, very high coverage, extremely thin, extremely weightless. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing much. I'm definitely highly impressed, and this is one of my favorite products I tried today. Honestly, pretty much the same thing with the concealer. I had very high expectations for this one, and it met all of my very high expectations. I don't have any creases underneath my eyes, and without having any color corrector underneath, my under eyes look extremely bright. I am very impressed. This is so thin and weightless as well underneath your eyes, and I saw barely any creases before I set it, and after it's been set, there is no creases under my eyes at all. So 15 out of 10 for me as well. I just cannot believe I had not tried these before. Thank you to Armani for sending them my way because they are incredible. My little Sigma trio right here that I use for bronzer, blush, and highlighter, I pretty much loved as well. Especially the matte bronzer and blush, I thought they blended incredibly. They have a really good amount of pigmentation. I like the shades that I use. The highlighter, I just wish it was a little bit more impactful, but if you're looking for a more natural looking highlighter, this one might be the one for you. As far as my new setting powders that I tried today, I cannot tell the difference between them at all. Both sides of my face look the same. They look identical. I do feel like maybe the Sigma side looks a teeny tiny bit darker. I do think this one might have changed the color of my foundation a bit because I do feel like my under eye over here looks a little bit brighter, and it has to be because of the powder, because that is the only thing that is different for me. This one is a little bit more expensive than the Sigma one, but they both mattified everything, and they both feel very weightless, very thin on my skin, and nothing looks dry even after having used matte everything underneath this powder. So the powder is definitely a 10 out of 10. Keep in mind that the Sigma one, even though I have the lightest shade, did make things just a tad bit darker on this area here, but that is literally the only difference that I can tell between these two, and I really liked the way that both of them laid on my face today. I tried 3 new Sigma brushes today. This bronzer one was nice, but it is way too big for me. I feel like I don't have any control of where I'm placing my products with this one, so I liked it, but I did not love it. And then these two I liked a bit more because they are more the sizes of brushes that I usually go for. So this one worked great for foundation. I'm sure for bronzer it would work amazingly as well. This one is the F24, and I did like the F12 for my under eye powder application. So this one was a hit as well. However, I do still prefer my Wayne Goss number 3 brush when it comes to applying my under eye powder for sure, because the shape of this one is just ideal for me. A little bit smaller than this one, a little bit more pointed. I like the softness of the natural bristles of this one. So I like this one, but I don't think it will be replacing my favorites, to be honest. My other absolutely favorite product I tried today was this Glaminatrix Nearly Natural palette. This is such an incredible palette. Like I said, the colors are right up my alley, but the formulas worked amazingly. The mattes blended beautifully. The shimmers are incredibly shiny, which I love. And I don't know, there's literally not one bad thing I can say about this one. I loved it. It is definitely highly recommended. Unfortunately, you do have to wait until the end of September for it, but it is such an incredible palette. I loved it. And then I believe this right here is the last new thing I tried for today's video. It's not bad, but I don't love it because of that almost gritty effect that I feel on my lips when I put it on. And I'm not sure that it's supposed to feel like that. Maybe I got a defective one or something. If you have this and you feel the same way about it, let me know. It just feels like I have something on my lips when I wear it. I also don't think that it's very long lasting, unfortunately. So this is the only product that I tried today that I'm like, you know, not my favorite. Everything else though, I'm extremely impressed because I loved every single product I tried today, which I was not expecting at all, especially because I knew a lot of these products were matte. So in my mind, when I sat down to film today, I really thought that my makeup was going to be a little bit iffy, but now that everything is applied, I can tell you I 100% loved the way everything looks. I think it looks incredible, and if you have dry skin like mine, and you want a matte finish, these are 100% the products to go with because wow. So that is everything I have for today's video. If you guys liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you want to try any of these products, please shop using my links down in the description box. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back in the next video. Bye.